Lesson: Drafting Remote Work Policies, Best Practices. Drafting remote work policies is an essential task for HR leaders navigating the complexities of modern employment law. As remote work becomes increasingly prevalent, it is crucial to design policies that not only comply with legal standards, but also enhance employee engagement and productivity. By integrating actionable insights, practical tools, and frameworks, HR leaders can create robust remote work policies that address organizational needs and legal requirements effectively. One of the first steps in drafting remote work policies is understanding the legal landscape. Various jurisdictions have specific laws governing remote work, and these can differ significantly. For instance, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation imposes stringent data protection requirements that remote work policies must address. HR leaders need to ensure that any remote work policy complies with such regulations to avoid legal pitfalls. This involves conducting thorough research or consulting legal experts to understand applicable laws in different regions where the organization operates. A practical tool that HR leaders can use is a compliance checklist tailored to the organization's geographic footprint. This checklist would include data protection requirements, tax implications, and labor laws pertinent to remote work. By systematically reviewing each item, HR leaders can ensure that their remote work policies are comprehensive and compliant. An example of this in practice is the multinational company Spotify, which implemented a work-from-anywhere policy and aligned it with local legal requirements in each of its operational regions. Once compliance is ensured, the next step is to focus on the policy's structural components. A well-drafted remote work policy should clearly define eligibility criteria, expectations, and responsibilities. Eligibility criteria might include job roles that are suitable for remote work, performance metrics, and tenure within the organization. By setting clear criteria, organizations can ensure consistency in policy application, which helps in mitigating potential legal challenges related to discrimination or favoritism. In defining expectations, organizations must articulate the standards for remote work performance, communication protocols, and availability. This can be achieved through a framework that outlines key performance indicators specific to remote roles. For example, a software development company might use metrics such as code quality, project completion times, and peer reviews. Providing employees with clear expectations helps in maintaining productivity and accountability. Responsibility delineation is another critical aspect of remote work policies. HR leaders need to specify the responsibilities of both the organization and the employee in terms of equipment provision, cybersecurity, and workspace ergonomics. A case study of relevance is that of Dell, which provides its remote employees with the necessary technological tools and ergonomic guidelines to ensure a productive work environment. This approach not only supports employee well-being, but also safeguards the organization's data. Communication is the linchpin of successful remote work arrangements. Policies should incorporate guidelines on preferred communication tools, meeting schedules, and feedback mechanisms. The use of collaborative platforms like Slack and Zoom should be standardized to avoid fragmentation in communication. Additionally, setting regular check-ins and feedback loops fosters a sense of connection and engagement among remote employees. A practical strategy is to establish a communication matrix that outlines the frequency, channels, and stakeholders involved in different types of communication. This matrix serves as a blueprint for maintaining effective communication across distributed teams. Moreover, remote work policies must address the challenges of work-life balance and mental health. The blurring of boundaries between personal and professional life in remote settings can lead to burnout if not managed properly. Policies should include provisions for flexible work hours, mandatory breaks, and access to mental health resources. A survey by Buffer found that 22% of remote workers struggle with unplugging after work, highlighting the importance of addressing this issue. Companies like GitLab have implemented Family and Friends Days, where employees are encouraged to take time off to recharge, demonstrating a commitment to employee well-being. Equity and inclusion are also vital considerations when drafting remote work policies. Ensuring that remote work opportunities are accessible to all eligible employees, regardless of location, is crucial for maintaining an inclusive workplace. This involves providing reasonable accommodations for employees with disabilities and considering diverse perspectives in policy design. IBM's remote work program, which prioritizes diversity and inclusion, serves as a model for fostering an equitable remote work environment. To evaluate the effectiveness of remote work policies, HR leaders should implement a feedback and review mechanism. This involves regularly collecting feedback from employees and managers to identify areas for improvement. Surveys and focus groups can provide valuable insights into the policy's impact on employee satisfaction and productivity. Additionally, analyzing performance data and comparing it with pre-remote work metrics can help assess the policy's success. Continuous improvement should be a core principle, allowing organizations to adapt their policies to changing needs and circumstances. In conclusion, drafting remote work policies requires a comprehensive approach that balances legal compliance with organizational and employee needs. By leveraging practical tools like compliance checklists, performance frameworks, and communication matrices, HR leaders can craft policies that enhance productivity, engagement, and well-being. Real-world examples from companies like Spotify, Dell, and GitLab highlight effective strategies for implementing remote work policies. As remote work continues to evolve, ongoing evaluation and adaptation of these policies will be essential to meet emerging challenges and opportunities.